Glace Bay is also home to the Marconi Towers. In 1902, Marconi established a wireless telegraph station at Table Head in Glace Bay. Marconi sent North America's first transatlantic wireless message to England from this site, where you can now view the historic photos, documents, and equipment marking his scientific achievements. The next featured heritage attraction takes us to Glace Bay, an industrial town known for its extensive coal fields and home to the well-known Miners Museum. The museum features an interesting and informative selection of artifacts, historical photographs, and various trade tools representing the men who risked life and limb to extract the black gold from deep beneath the ocean's floor. The museum is operated by the Cape Breton Miners Foundation.
Singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah. In 1720 they sailed to CB to search for coal at outcrop by the sea. They settled the land round Lorien Bay. It was here coal mining started, they say. Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah. The immigrants came from far and wide who worked in the coal mine side by side. Mates became buddies and brothers to be down in the deeps of good old CP. Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah. When the mine shut down at Lorien Bay, they packed up and moved to work at Glace Bay. Many mines they opened in this big town, yet only number 26 still is to be found. Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha Hallelujah, singing Hallelujah, Masha do do we are singing Father Louis. Oh, my friend, you may have come as far as we go. Follow me around, hey friend, it's reaching for you. See it all began with that coal miner sea. Masha do we are singing Father Louis. 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 There are men who go down to the sea in ships, men daring, brave and true. There are men who sail through the air on wings, their sea is the heaven blue. But the bravest man and most daring one, who for danger gives not a rap, is the man who toils far under the sea, the man with a torch in his hand. There is danger lurking on every side in the deep dark land of coal, where no ray of sun ever finds its way, and above the seas may roll with a cheery...
Okay, now we have a garden in the Ocean Deep Colliery here, and this garden is planted in memory of old William Krause, because back in 1929 we had a big coal mine here, one big colliery, and that coal mine employed somewhere around over 1,000 men. And well, old William Krause, he went down the bottom of a shaft and he went out about a mile and he made a flower bed and he planted a garden, a flower garden. So that is why they plant flowers in this colliery here, the Ocean Deep Colliery, because that's a memorial for him. Now, the flower bed that he made was about 12 feet wide and about 15 feet long, and he filled that up full of manure that he took from the stables. And he planted different kind of flower seeds. But the flowers couldn't grow in the dark, so he had the electricians extend some lights in there. So when the lights were put on, that's when the flowers started to grow, and that's how he had his garden. When we go to the wash house and change our clothes, put a check number in the lamp house, get a lamp out. Before we come down in those boxes here, we've got to get a report off a deputy. But when we get a clear report, we come down and get a board of those boxes here, a trip of boxes, sometimes 30, 35 boxes. And those are the kind of boxes we drove in for our transportation. And we get a drive down the back deep. Now the way we would get a drive, there'd be an engine set on the surface. That's a coal mine like this that's driven off the crop. There'd be an engine on the surface. Be a rope come off of a drum. It'll be attached onto the boxes. And when we get a drive down, we go down on one set of tracks, hanging on the end of the rope, say about 8 or 10 miles an hour. And that would be our transportation. We get a drive down, and after our shift was over, we get a drive back up. Now some of the big coal mines that were operating here in Breton, I'd say that sometimes we go down the distance of 2 or 3 miles, maybe more. Right under the ocean, because that's where we follow the seas. Now this coal mine right here, the Ocean Deep Colliery, this coal mine developed room and pillar. This is the kind of a coal mine we worked in when two buddies worked together, and we had a hand-load coal in the boxes and we were paid by the ton. And we had horses and ponies in those years down in the coal mine. Now when those horses and ponies were taken down from the surface, they stayed down practically half their life because this is where they were stabled. And the first time they were taken up out of the coal mine was in 1942, and that was the year that we got our first coal mine vacation. And every year after that, when we get a vacation